Okay, so now we're going to work on the dressing. It's the Greek salad dressing that is used to dress the village salad. It is also the marinade that is used to marinate the chicken. It's one product. I make it, usually I make it a quart at a time, and about a third of it goes to, well, maybe half and half. Half goes to the salad, half goes to the meat. Depends on how much meat I'm marinating. And also, I'd never mind to have a mason jar of it in the fridge for different cooking that I'll be doing in the future. But in any case, in terms of what we're going to do today, we are going to make enough dressing to serve as the marinade for the chicken, and the exact same dressing is what we use on the salad. So what that is, it doesn't really matter how much, what portion or volume of dressing you're making, as long as you remember that the proportion of oil to vinegar is 4 to 1. So 4 parts of any good virgin olive oil to 1 portion of really good vinegar. And here I will tell you, the brand matters a ton. If you don't have a good, sharp Greek wine vinegar, I use Nikki. Ione is also very good. If you don't, some balsamic vinegars might cut it, but honest to gosh, I just use Nikki. That's all I use. It's not even expensive, and it has the taste, the sharpness that you need in a Greek salad. It has the bite. You know, you want it to kind of bite back when you bite into the vegetables. If you use some of the really fancy gourmet balsamic vinegars that we've tried over the years, you spend a fortune on them. They come with the foil wrap top, and they look like a bottle of champagne. And meanwhile, your salad just doesn't have what it takes. So I use Nikki pure Greek wine vinegar, and I have a cupboard full of it right now. I give it away as gifts, and next time I'm in Toronto, I'll buy a ton of it to make sure I don't run out. There are others. Ione is also good, but if you use a fancy gourmet vinegar that doesn't really have any bite or any kick, your Greek salad will be missing something. You'll go, wow, this doesn't taste like it does in the restaurants. That's why. It's the vinegar. It's the vinegar. So if you're going to mess around with anything, the garlic, the salt, the black pepper, white pepper, what kind of extra virgin olive oil you use, it doesn't really matter. What really matters is the vinegar, okay? So into 2 cups of extra virgin olive oil, I am going to pour a half of a cup of Nikki vinegar. I'll taste it before I'm done too, to make sure that perhaps I don't need any more. Sometimes I sprinkle a little bit on just as I'm serving the salad to give it that extra oomph. The garlic that I'm going to use is the Durley chopped garlic. If you have the time and inclination to chop fresh garlic, go for the gusto. That's a great thing to do. I myself never have time for that, and I find, since I've adjusted all my recipes for this, it's a little bit milder than fresh chopped garlic, that putting in fresh garlic actually kind of screws up my recipes. Whoops, that's not big enough, or too small. Okay, so I'm going to put into the 2 cups of olive oil and the half cup of Nikki vinegar a pretty good amount of garlic. I would use less if I was chopping fresh, but there it is. Somebody must be in my yard. And then in addition to the olive oil, the vinegar, the garlic, I'm going to add dried oregano. Forrest! Oh my God, okay. Dried oregano. Quite a bit of it, actually. And I have more here in case I need more. The one thing you will never be able to get away from is salt. This amount of olive oil, this amount of vinegar without salt will be disgusting. So we're going to add a pretty good amount of salt. I would say if I was measuring this, it would be maybe a teaspoon of salt. Okay. And I will add some pepper too, although the pepper's not as crucial as the salt is. There is no scientific way to know whether you've done this correctly except for tasting it. So I'm going to taste it. Okay, that was enough salt. That was enough for pretty much everything. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more garlic and a tiny bit more oregano. And again, there's not really any way to know whether you've got it exactly right, except that you love the taste. If you love the taste, then you did it right. If you don't love the taste, then you did it wrong. So taste it and see what you need more of. A bit more. You know what? I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. A little bit. Now that I'm thinking about it. Okay. This is gonna season a ton of food, so that is not a lot of salt in the grand scheme of things. That's good. As I said, sometimes when just before I serve the salad, I sprinkle a little bit more Nicky vinegar on just at the last second. Like just as it's going out to the table, it gives it a kind of a fresh bite to cleanse the palate or whatever, however you want to describe it, just as you're about to eat the salad. But I think this is good for right now. So this is going to be the marinade for the meat and the dressing for the salad. So I'll get back to that momentarily. That can sit there for a second. We'll let the flavors marry. And the dressing and the marinade is done.